Welcome back to the Port Macquarie Regional Stadium. We've got the Mixed Opens A, the Port Makos, the locals taking on the Penrith Panthers, and I'm joined in commentary once again by Carly Banks. Carly, what do you expect to see in this one?
Yeah, this could be a really, really good game. This Makos side's been building really, really well, over the last 2 years. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they go. And, Penrith are one of the real powerhouses of touch in New South Wales. So, yeah, looking forward to this one, Nath.
There's a couple of names I see on there. Kobe Jimenez, he featured in the 18s, I believe, for Penrith at the last Junior State Cup. As Port, oh, look at that. Magic to start, the home side. What a pass. That'll be in the highlights reels for years to come. And Carly, what a magic moment to start this one.
Yeah, a little passive platform out the back with Brent Nixon, and then Corey Lewis with the no-look flick, reverse, bang, hit the winger. Beautiful little J-line to finish, and what a way to start this one.
Oh, how do they top that, Penrith? They're probably in the box a little bit shell-shocked after that one. The Panthers have come out, and we know our colleague David Stone, who was just in here, popped his head in here before.
He'll claim it was a set play.
He'll claim it, no doubt. I was going to say it's definitely not from his trick bag, that's for sure. As Penrith get an opportunity to hit back, they go on the line coming through, and that's half court. And referee Boza realises there he's on his heels, but the Makos, the country champions in the Mixed Opens division, and you're away up at, or not down, actually, from where we are now, the Central Coast, and that was a very, very good weekend early in the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. Great to be back with country championships, isn't it, Nathan? And there's the passive out the back. Well-worked play.
We're back inside, and a big dive for the line, and Doyleson men's open side back in the silverware at the country champs as well. Carly, I'll lead you into that one.
Yeah, mate. We're very much looking forward to this tournament, and just good to be back at State Cup. And country championships was a good lead-in event for us, and looking forward to getting amongst it later on this afternoon in the men's open.
Big contact there, and referee Cheney awards the penalty, and as you said, a bit of a segue, the country champs into State Cup, and you guys choosing, due to rugby league commitments, I believe, not to entertain the Vorden Cup, which you guys had a bit of a stranglehold of for a few years. So, yeah, as you said, the country champs would have been nice to get in and amongst it.
Yeah, definitely good to get the band back together, mate, and get ready for this one. But so many good teams, and you know what State Cup is like. I mean, that's why it's the best tournament in the world, Nathan, and it's really hard to win. As
the Panthers look to hit back here, referee Cheney and to penalise the Port side. And
yeah, I'm liking this from the Penrith Panthers, already, mate. They're sort of moving around. They've used their girl in the middle a little bit too to get a little bit of variation around this. So let's see what they do with this repeat set.
There's Brock Hillier. He's there with Sims. And Sims throws long out to the wing. And there's Porter looking to step inside. And Lattimore there in defence. He cleans up for Port. And some good press off the line there by Toms. And Hillier can't hold on to it. And they're going to need to take every opportunity. This Port Macquarie side, they're red hot, aren't they? They're coming off a very good win against a very experienced Wollongong side, and I dare say they'll be seen late in the Sunday.
Yeah, very good. At the moment, their transitions are what is killing it for them. They're getting on the ball immediately, they're moving the ball to the box, and they're coming on and they're creating, stuff off the back of great backhand flow.
And we are there. Oh, Carly called it, and there it is. Look at that, the roll off the back of the drive. And Terrell Scott, he cleans up at the end, but as you mentioned, that drive, which I will once again give Doyle a lot of credit, brought the latch play into touch. It's pretty much used everywhere. I've seen a few out there watching a couple of games out on field 9 and 10, and you just see it every club. And I think these days it's now just about how well you execute it, because it's obviously very effective.
Yep.
And there's obviously two parts to it: how you defend it, but also how you actually execute in attack.
Yeah, definitely, and it's about everything in this game. There's a bit of innovation, and people change it and take things and make it better, and it's good, and it pushes everybody to try and be a little bit better and try and get some variation of their game as well. So yeah, it's a great innovation and something that we're proud of, and we're glad that we've been able to contribute to the sport. Or someone's in trouble here.
David Shaw goes down.
That's not good.
Clutching the left knee.
Yeah. And Shaw is one of the real gentlemen, of touch, and this isn't nice to see him or anyone for that matter, but Shorey's a really great bloke, and was a part of those great Penrith Panthers urging men's teams when Dave Collins coached the boys in the early years of their success. So let's hope Shorey's okay as they take him from the field.
He comes assisted by Jenny Rogerson. They're one of the long-term volunteers at Penrith. Jenny's just helping David off, and hopefully it's not as a little bit innocuous, the contact there, and then that reaction. But we're wishing Dave all the best, and hopefully it's not a serious injury. Hopefully just a bit of a cork maybe, and he can run it out. As we go back to the action, we've got a penalty to Port coming out from their own line, and that'll be the try scorer Scott as they go to that box. And this is where they're dangerous, as Carly mentioned before, and they'll come on there with good shape, and I think they've missed a play. No, they don't. They've just got extremely good width out there. A miscounter. This winger's hiding out here.
And the number 13, Brent Nixon, he'll feature prominently, in this game, but in this set of 6. He's very good with his passing game. Nice little ball there.
And that's a very good diving touch there.
Good from Penrith.
Corey
really,
Lewis
really good.
Stepped out, held the ball up, and Lewis.
And it had to be that good because that was a really, really nice, well-worked play there from the Makos, who are now going to press really, really hard. And it's a trademark of the way that they play. Their press defence, they made 3 already before halfway, which is generally your pass mark and what you're looking for. And it then makes that latch play that we're talking about less effective, but unfortunately stepped over the mark. But really nice play there from the Penrith Panthers, and they're doing a really good job. Like Risha Tandon there was really unlucky because it was a great latch. She found the back middle and just unfortunately stepped over the mark. Yeah,
well, Brent Nixon using his wits about him there, sort of just stepped to the side and probably took a little bit of experience there to make the touch and over the mark as a penalty. And they go on the attack here, the Panthers again, and off the right was Kobe Smith. And as you know, I know Penrith for a fact lost a couple of players in the lead up in the last couple of weeks. They lost a couple of good players for their side due to one to injury, and I think one earlier this week to COVID. So, and I know in the last 24 to 48 hours, COVID's played havocs with a lot of teams and also referees. We've lost a few referees due to COVID. So.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things, isn't it, mate? But unfortunately, it's now something that we need to factor in, in terms of our preparation and our team rosters and the depth that we've got.
Certainly is, and wishing all those out there that have had to pull out all the best in recovery, and hopefully not feeling too bad.
Another interesting young player here for the Makos is number 14, Ethan Toombs. Great little player. He's got all the skills, and really enjoy watching him play as well, Nath.
They were red hot at the country champs. I know that we had the pleasure of watching the final, and the Wollongong side, who are another team to beat in this competition. You've got experience as far as the eye can see in that side. And that long pass from Flanagan out, ball inside, and Scott will collect a second. Some good play on that far wing by Kim Lattimore, and she's saving tries and helping set them up as well. Some enterprising play here by the Makos.
Yeah, it's a fantastic piece of play. Like they've done really, really well there to, kick around, find the back middle, then a long ball. I'd like to see the winger though, just that in-out J-line a little bit more, so she could tap it back a little bit easier. Because against the better sides, they're going to probably be under a little bit more pressure. So she sort of caught it standing still. She was lucky the link was backing up, but if she runs that J-line, that'll make that pass a heck of a lot easier.
Well, as you know, you said State Cup's one of the best, it's the best tournament in the world, and for amateur touch. And as you said, the back end of these games, and you've seen in years to come, in the past, years in the past, that, and obviously finals and stuff you would have been in, that fatigue at the back end, and all it takes is one lapse from the link, not chasing across, and how effective that bat back in can be for teams, and it becomes a bit of a weapon, doesn't it?
Oh, it sure does, and anyone who can get that right definitely gives their team a big advantage.
Duguid plays the ball, and the ball's come back, and they're on the charge with Mears, and Mears throws it over, and the only one that was going to catch that was the sideline referee on that occasion. But they're not. It's not from a lack of effort here. The Panthers, they're definitely giving it their all. It's just a little bit of execution.
Yeah, and that was a really good sweeper quarterback. All I'd say to them, try and get yourselves a little bit deeper. Give yourself a little bit room. Maybe set that strike dump about the 8 or the 9, because then you've got time to release that ball and sum up your options a little bit quicker rather than have it on the 7 for that particular play.
And as mentioned before, it's the voice of Carly Banks, the Indigenous Jubilee coach. Another great honour, Carl's, in your history and what you're building. You're building a bit of a resume there, aren't you?
Oh, mate, I'm just happy, to sort of be involved and help anyone at every level. And mate, it's nice when you get that type of recognition because it's a once in a lifetime, recognition. And my mum being a really, really proud Indigenous woman, that meant so much, Nath. So
no, I know you're very humble. I know you don't like talking about it, but I'll keep leading you into things so you can keep talking about it because it's good.
I know people can't see my face. I'm very red at the moment, so that's enough of that, Nathan. Back to the game, please.
It's, as the Panthers on that, they throw another one over the sideline, and the referee's in the action here with a couple of tries gone begging from them. So we sit at 3-0. The Makos just getting through the game and just cruising up the field, and the referee stopped and he's confused everyone, including the cameraman there. I think it's, he's chosen to play on. The Makos will look to latch on. They'll go for there. Smith with the ball. Smith will play it, and there's Toms that picks it up to Smith. They go the wrap around. The old colours play. It's back out to the wing, and there's Granger for the line. She steps back in, did she? And it's a great touch. Ahana Coyne with a very good touch there. And as you mentioned, that Makos, they just got to. That's the thing for this State Cup weekend. Just keep building. They're going to keep building on that latch and the play that they just drive. They just get into that backfield so easy there, create space, and the little colours play, bringing it back, taking us back to 1980.
Yeah. So if I'm the Penrith team, I'd be trying to, at the end of this transition, this is where the Makos are killing them. We'll see the end of this set.
Step back, and there's
nice
numbers
play.
there, and he steps off. And
now they get on this ball pretty well, and they get over it, and they get moving. And this is where, now, this is a slow transition. Penrith have the chance now to try and curb them on these first three, and that's what they really need to do to try to wrestle this great momentum that the Makos build. But already they've taken to the box on 2, and they're at halfway on 3, and that's a fail mark in terms of like the field position that you want to win defensively. So now they come on with back end flow, and it's just going to be relentless here.
Numbers were there, and chose to hold on to it.
And it's obviously easier said than done sitting up here in our position, Nath, but especially when you're out there and you've been under the pump. These guys have had a couple of games now, so it's really, really important that Penrith stay in touch with them here. And I think if they can get a little bit of flow with their rucking, they can definitely, ask a few questions of this Makos defence.
Here they come up over halfway, and ball's forward by Pedris, and here they go. Now there's Dogood giving it back over, and they just couldn't hold on to it. Nathan Dogood, a long-term player at Penrith, also helps on occasion with the medical staff here at New South Wales Touch. Nathan, he's a good man. He's on the wrong end of it at the moment, but hopefully a bit of his magic can turn it for the Panthers. But the Makos, they'll look to strike again. There's Nixon on the field, and he's a danger with Pollard. And Pollard with a zinc smeared across his face. You can tell it's summertime, and Nixon goes to half and gives it back to Pollard.
He's probably looking for that passive line again out the back, I'd say, with the 2 girls lined up here. I know he's going short side.
Nixon. Oh, that was sharp. In a blink of an eye, he just got straight through there, Brent Nixon.
Yeah, he's a class act, like Nathan. He's been so close to making the State of Origin mixed open team the last 2 years. And a great young man, came to our training sessions and learnt as much as he could. And, an invested young fellow who's going to, be around New South Wales Touch and hopefully in the Blues colours for many years to come, I think.
As you mentioned, they're part of the mixed open side at the last State of Origin. Unlucky not to get the chocolates in that one, but it was definitely down to the wire once again. You guys have been successful over the last couple of series, and that must have been a little bit disappointing and take a bit of the shine off, the year that you've had.
Yeah, the boys have gone great ML platform, and there they go. The Panthers are back off the back of that, and that's a platform that I think would really, cause these Makos a little bit of consternation there. So that's great coaching from the Penrith box, and really nice line, and we'll see if they can build on that from here.
With how good their defence has been, Port, they haven't looked to be troubled at all, and then in that, watching that back, they'll probably be a little bit embarrassed by that. It just opened up, and there was a good 5-10 metre gap in there, and I know a lot of the coaches talk about spacings and things like that, and there, that just opened up a little bit too easy. As you said, the ML platform was was strong from Penrith as they go the sweep play, and there's some speed involved again. You can't coach it, speed. You cannot coach it, and the Makos, well, they might have been embarrassed on the last one, but there's the attack that they've got, and they extend their lead to 5-1.
Yeah, they've come back again brilliantly. Great way to respond and put another one on the board, and stretches them out to a 5-1 lead. But yeah, Nath, going back to the Origin, a bit of a disappointing result. But that was a fantastic Queensland side. And it was a great series, and we were probably short of a gallop, I'd say, mate. We really didn't get much in terms of preparation. So by game 3, we were firing. So looking forward to those Origin battles. And mate, you can't win them all, and you work hard for the next opportunity. Yeah,
it's a good one to hold on to. You can't win them all. That's exactly right. And as you said, it was great that we were able to win the series overall. I know we went down in the men's, the women's and the mixed opens, but as you said, considering the amount of touch that's been able to be played in the last 12 months, especially in New South Wales compared to Queensland running free for all, and it was a big effort from everyone to get on and really shows the class of New South Wales in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, across all of the divisions, and that's the point, is that, we get back on an even keel over the next 12 months, and we'll see how we go next time around, Nath.
It's him and his steps and dives at the line, and Smith there on the spot. And
I like this sequencing that these guys are running. A couple of little quickie plays, the out ball was going to come.
The tap on.
Just needed to be patient. Look, I'd have been really happy if he caught that, take the touch, come back, and we go again. And I know it's really easy from up here, but that's nice sequencing, and they need to hold on to that. They need to just be a little bit patient for another touch and keep working.
And what you might not be able to see is that rain is starting to come back from right to left on your screen. It's starting to come in from the airport. The planes must have the hose in there and the propellers working overtime at the airport, because it's come and gone all morning, and we had a little bit of sunshine, and we're back to a little bit of drizzle at the moment. It looks to be easing off again as we speak. And there's Scott. He looks him up, stands him up like a first date. And they're in again, the Makos. And if you get a chance to watch that back, he would have looked him in the eyes, and all that does, and Carly, you'd be well aware of this, is once someone looks you in the eye on the touch field, all it can cause is you to just really just keep your feet still, and you start focusing on the person you're looking at. And with his speed, Scott, he just gets on the outside and...
Yeah, he's got great agility, he's got great acceleration, and he can pass the ball as well. So he's a triple threat, Tyrell Scott. And the call about the first date, mate, has that happened a few times?
No, not with me. Mate? Happily engaged, so no doubt. Lovely,
there.
lovely Carissa will be tuning in, no doubt. She'll be listening to some of my best work. So, yeah, I think she'll be working again. She doesn't stop. So. Yeah, thanks for that segue. Yeah, getting married next year in October. We can't wait. So looking forward to that. Great time of the life. So yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, she loves touch footy.
Awesome, mate.
Absolutely loves it. So she'll love me saying that as well. So
no, but that's great. Good to see, mate. And it's one of those things. Is that you guys who work for our sport, we're so lucky, mate. Like, people don't see the amount of work that the New South Wales touch staff do, and I'm going to give you guys a rap because nobody will, because of everyone wants to whinge about everything that's not quite right or whatever, but the hours and the time that everybody puts in at New South Wales Touch to put on the greatest tournament in the world is pretty special, mate. So, yeah, enjoy that time off when you get to your wedding, won't you?
I appreciate that, Carl. Yeah, as you said, it's been a big week up here. We arrived Monday afternoon and greeted with a nice little storm early in the piece, but yeah, the staff this week have worked tirelessly to get what we have here. It's quite cool, to be honest. And we had young Archie Rose come in as a young bloke from Cronulla that he's had a bit of work experience this week, and he got to see. And as we said to him on Thursday as he left us, that when you get to sit back and look, it's quite cool what we create from when we get here on Monday afternoon, and the field's got there's no logos on the field, there's no fencing, there's no nothing until we see what we create here. It's quite cool. And even out the back, there's staff that walk the fields tirelessly throughout to help with medical and give information back to tournament control. And as you said, we're covering some of the staff, and I know there's a bit of a contest between the boys out there. They try and get to about 30. They end up getting to about 30,000 steps. So If you're sitting at home, hopefully that inspires you to get up and go for a walk. At the end of our coverage, of course, stay tuned. We're till 7:30, so just after 7:30, we've got a whole day of touch, a plethora of touch football here, and we start the men's opens in a little while, and he's done. Oh, what about that? He's got
ankles.
The dancing shoes on. Noah Mears. He's a bit early for the after party, but he's done the dance and got straight through.
Yeah, and Ethan Toombs is no slouch, so that was a great piece of footwork. Really, really good from Penrith. I'm loving that they're sticking with their game plan and they're trying to find solutions, to the problems that they've been having with, the momentum that the Makos have created. So yeah, really, really good comeback from the Panthers in this last 5 to 6 minutes.
Yeah, you're not wrong with that, Carly. That, as you said, they could have easily shut up shop. When everything's going against them, the momentum, and they were just struggling to get into a bit of rhythm. And in the last 5 minutes, I think that the try where they went straight through off the ML platform has given a bit of confidence here. And they're taking on a very, very good side, and the ball's passed over, and they defend that set again with relative ease. Yeah,
fantastic read from the winger. Done a brilliant job to be in the right lane, and that comes off the back of having really good pre-touch as a winger, and it's one of those things that you can't fake. You've actually got to work really hard at doing that, and she was in exactly the right spot. And as I speak, I have done the commentator's curse thing to them, so I'm so sorry, Penrith.
Well, it wouldn't be commentary if we didn't put the mock on someone at least once. So there it is. It's the first time that's happened with me. I'm sure James probably put the mock on a few people a bit earlier today. So
James is the biggest mock in the world. Don't worry about that.
And it'll be James Preston does a wonderful job for us. A big thank you to James, who's
legend.
Who's just having a breather, just enjoying a breather at the moment. He's got his bottle of Capilano honey somewhere. I don't know if he took it with him or not, but he enjoys that throughout the coverage. And a big thank you to Bar TV as Scott Nixon go together over the top, and Shelby Granger collects one.
And that's the lethal combination, isn't it, for the Makos, and a lot of the play that they've built on. We're talking before about David Stone and the work that he's done in the background, obviously working for New South Wales Touch this weekend, but the work that he's done with this mixed team, and the Northern Eagles area, over the last 2 or 3 years has been fantastic, and you can see the product of the investment that he's made in the way that this young Makos side is playing their footy. Yeah,
we obviously work together, David and I, and he does. He's very proud of the work he does. He's proud of the teams that he's been involved in over a number of years up here. He's coached a number of the men's 20s and whatnot, and currently joined you in the Origin coaching ranks as assistant coach for the last Origin series, but then the most recent, he got the head coaching gig for the 20s, which I know very proud moment. They rolled him in the first game, and unfortunately couldn't hold on. But the men's 20 series was probably one of the best of the weekend, I dare say. He's done a great job, and he's currently the assistant coach of the Australian Under-18 boys with me as well for the next year Trans-Tasman. So, and we worked together at the last Trans-Tasman in 2020. So, nice history, and very, very good coach who does his best to help, whether he's coaching or he's assistant coaching. He's great to have on your team. They go for the line again. Passive again. Out the back, and they got space, but the Panthers there slid across the line. We had Pedras. Yeah, he didn't really bite into the line as much as he needed to on that, and I'd like to see the guy getting through the front hole just a little bit harder, just to maybe sell that a little bit more instead of playing before the line, which allowed the Panthers to read that one, Nathan. But they love that play, and but it was well defended by Penrith, which means that they've been listening to their coaches about fixing it. There's a flick back. Kelly there, he's looking to replicate what we saw. That, no doubt, Kylie Hearn will be straight onto that. That'll be up on our socials in the not too distant future, no doubt. That was an absolute pearl of a try in the first minute. If you get the chance, first set of the game, it's the rest of the game hasn't quite been as entertaining. It's still been a really, really good contest, and that's not to take anything away from these two sides, because that bit of play in the first minute was absolute magic, and they'll play that for years and years to come. As why touch football and the skills are so relevant to a lot of sports, not just rugby league. I know we've got the partnership with the NRL, but those sorts of skills is absolutely amazing. And he's straight through. He stood him up, and he gets through the end. Oh, Scott. He's got one himself. He's a try-scoring machine, Tyrell Scott. Yeah, that's a fantastic piece of play again. But in the lead up to that try, number 8, Tani Luck, one of our New South Wales
senior women's players. Fantastic piece of play from her. Came on, checked the ball back. They managed to kick into the back middle, and they managed to get that momentum, and that's off the back of her. So big rap to Tani Luck as well for her contribution to this game.
Well, you mentioned the word momentum there. It's one of the biggest things in this 30 minutes. You know, we're back to the original, the OG touchdown turnaround, and how good is it to be back at 30 minutes? We've obviously had everything else in between. We've had COVID, we've had fires, we've had floods, we've had everything. We've had every season under the sun already today, and the sun's out as we speak, and no doubt there's some clouds around, but hopefully it stays dry, and Panthers looking to hit back. But yeah, the 30-minute touchdown turnaround. How, as a coach, how's it been? You know, trying to get the boys. Obviously, you know, you've got a relatively fit group as it is, so that makes it easier. And there's an expectation they do their work outside of, you know, your normal training. But you know, what's the adjustment? What's the biggest adjustment for that extra 5 minutes that's going to take place? Because I know a lot of teams play, you know, to roll teams at the back end. That's sort of, you get in the grind for the 15, 20 minutes, and then the last 10 is where you sort of put the foot down. How has that been? How have you guys found that at Dawson I suppose the pre-season of getting ready for State Cup?
Yeah, I'll get to that. That was a great little follow play from the Penrith Panthers to put that on. They've probably exploited those two middles, you know, a little bit of looseness around there, probably starting with the links. So, you know, that's something for the Makos to sort of address, you know, going forward in the comp. But great touchdown to the Panthers. In answer to your question, Nath, preparation for State Cup is always different to obviously Vorden Cup and everything else because, those extra 10 minutes, and it's flat out. So the idea is that you do, like we do a lot of, game stuff at training. We play Doilo Touch, a fitness game that I came up with a few years ago, and no one likes playing Doilo Touch too much, but it's the thing that prepares us really, really well. And all the boys do all their fitness outside of this. Everyone's very conscientious. Even Dylan Thompson, who wasn't our greatest trainer a few years ago, and the hashtag was always keep up Tomo, but on our post to each other, but he now puts in the work as well as anyone else, and he's been playing some of the best touch of his life this last sort of 6 months. So really looking forward to see how Tomo goes on top of that as well. And it's just and like all teams, everyone gets up for State Cup. Oh, great ball,
Good
Brent
pass.
Nixon, you are all class.
Lattimore collects another, and the Makos here, as you mentioned the word class, they've shown their class here in attack. As you said, there'll be a couple of things to address, no doubt, in defence, but a 9-3 win at the moment with the power to add has been a really, really strong performance in these round games, and you think they'd probably head to look to kill the clock in the next 2.5 minutes, but you said no one likes playing Doilo Touch, at least you gave it a fun name, so it sounds good. When I'm sure the boys, the first time you said it, probably thought, oh, this will be all right, a bit of a game, and 20 minutes later or whatever, you're flogging them to death, and they're not liking it.
But it's good. We know that it's a necessary part, of our preparation if we're going to be in there with half a shout, mate. So everybody does the work knowing that every other team, you've got to bring your best, because that's the respect you give everyone, because if you haven't done the work, there's nowhere to hide at the end of the day. And
outside of Doilo, who have you got your eyes on as the teams to beat? There's obviously there's a lot in the men's opens. There's 11 teams across the two pools, but who have you got your eyes on in particular?
Yeah, look, I think due respect obviously to Penrith, who are, all quality and have been great over the last few years, in the Brains Trust with, Scott Buckley and Nick Good, Ben Moyle and those guys, young fellas like Liam Robinson. I mean, they're just wall-to-wall really good players. The Central Coast have done a tremendous job over the last few years to build their program, and they're in our pool, so that'll be on again when we play those boys, as it always is. It's like big brother, little brother sort of thing, so it's always on. Hornsby, perennial, State Cup specialists. Obviously without Dylan Hennessy, not as potent, but if you take your eyes off Hornsby for a second, they will pull your pants down because they're pretty good at what they do. Anyone can beat anybody, and that's the beautiful thing about the State Cup, is that if you're one bit complacent, that'll be the end of you. So you need to respect everyone. Parramatta as well, what a great season they've had, and Kai Simbel, and in particular, great season winning the bowling medal, and you just cannot underestimate anybody. So, yeah, it's going to be on Nathan. We'll look forward to the challenge.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Parramatta. I think they're flown a little bit under the radar.
Ricky Hetherington's done a great job with them the last few years.
Ricky and Josh have done well, and no doubt, as you said, I think that's the team to beat. I think on everyone's lips is obviously Central Coast have been runners up. They've been the bridesmaids for Vorden and Country, and no doubt they'll be wanting to turn that around. As you said, the Penrith side is just full of class and a very hard team to beat in any occasion. Hornsby, as you mentioned, I think they're at their best when you underestimate them. I think Hornsby
definitely
are, and then there's obviously yourselves. And what do we got here? We've got a Falcon. And
we have got a massive Falcon. That was so good. Hopefully Kylie's got that one. Just making sure no one was injured, that's fine. But, we do love our Falcons, Nath.
They're always good. They're always, usually here on the stadium, they pop up out of nowhere, and that's another one where...
Bringing the crowds back.
And that'll be the siren, and Scott picked it up. He wanted a fourth, but that's all we got time for here. The poor Makos running out 9-3 winners over the Panthers. We'll take a short break, and big thanks to Carly. I think you're due for a break as well, and
I sure am.
We'll be back in just a few moments.